Hi guys, I'm David from David's Way to Health and Fitness, and good Lord, what a beautiful and glorious day it is out here, just down at the park. I love it this time of year when everything's turning green and everything, and everything's just sprouting back to life. I hear the birds chirping in the trees. It's just great to be alive this time of year. But I want to talk to you all about metabolism. And it's this time of year when when we start hearing from people, they're starting to get kind of desperate to get ready for swimsuit weather. Okay, and you know, quite frankly, one of the things that Brenda Sue and I often hear, from a lot of our readers and followers is, I have such a hard time gaining or losing weight because I have a slow metabolism. We hear this all the time. And you can find instances, just on a daily basis, people who are blaming their weight on their metabolism. But I'm here to tell you, unless you have a medically diagnosed condition by your physician to where, there's absolutely no getting around the fact that you do have a metabolic problem that's causing you to be overweight, your problem is not going to be your metabolism with your weight. Your problem is your appetite. Now, I'm not saying that to insult you, but it's just a simple truth. You know, we when it comes to telling people things, it's like, we can give you some milk. Yeah, you can drink down some milk real easy. Give you some meat. You got to chew on that. But sometimes what we got to tell you is medicine, and that never goes down easy. But it's important. And like I say, you know, most of the time, you cannot blame your metabolism on your weight. I know people want to do that all the time, but just knock it off. Your problem is not your metabolism. Your problem is your appetite. Now, your appetite is under your control, but there are circumstances uh, when you're not eating right. There are circumstances we can acknowledge that your appetite, is caused by chemical reactions within your body and hormonal issues. But that's largely dependent on the foods that you eat. Moving on with the metabolism, though, we hear people talk about it all the time. Well, I'm overweight because my metabolism's slow. This guy over here, he's skinny as a rail because his metabolism is fast. Well, you just gotta quit using that as an excuse. The bottom line is, if you have a weight problem, it's because you have an appetite problem. I have a slow metabolism. I'm not fat. Uh, you know, the thing is, I've been fat. I've been quite a bit heavier than I am right now. But that's because I had an appetite. Not because I had a slow metabolism. And we can acknowledge that our metabolism slows as we age. That happens. But what you got to keep in mind is it's calories in versus calories burned, which contributes to your body fat percentage. If you eat more calories than what your body needs, you're going to store it as fat. That's not your metabolism being slow. That's you eating too much. Again, I'm not trying to insult you, but that's just the reality. That's the medicine of it. When we eat, our bodies break down the foods that we eat. There's a chemical reaction. The body breaks down the foods that we eat into different, it's different components. It breaks it down to the carbohydrates, the fats, and the protein. We need carbohydrates to fuel our bodies. That's what gives us glucose. We need fat, which is also an energy source, but we don't want to eat too much fat, because if we eat too much fat, you know, it gets stored in our body. It doesn't, not all of it gets used. You know, fat's nutrient dense, or not nutrient dense, but it's energy dense. There's 9 calories to every gram of fat, as opposed to 4 calories to each gram of carbohydrates and protein. So if you're eating too much fat, you know, that's your metabolism. That's not your metabolism. That's your appetite. You're eating too much. You're eating too many calories. Uh, Oftentimes, people who are overweight, you know, they're living on a lot of fast food. It don't matter if you think it is or not, but if you add up the calories of what you're eating on those fast foods and the snack foods and pizza that you got through the you know, local Domino's, Papa John's, or whatever, you're eating a lot of calories. That's not your metabolism. You're eating more calories than what your body needs. So if you want to get around this, you can still eat a lot, but you need to make sure that the foods that you eat are low in calories and high in nutrients. If you're not getting all the nutrients you need, your body's going to crave them. Simple as that. Um, when you eat a lot of this junk food, you know, they're loaded up with, a lot of times, with unhealthy fats in quantities that are much higher than what your body needs. Those foods are loaded up with simple carbohydrates, which they just dump into your bloodstream. So you got high blood sugar, causes an insulin spike, and you know, for a lot of you that just eat like that all day long, you know, you're keeping your body out of whack. It's not your metabolism, it's you. You're eating too much of the wrong foods. You just have to stop it. Um, I, I can't emphasize that enough. Sugars, fats, preservatives, all this crap that we find in fast foods and processed foods. When you eat that stuff, it's wreaking havoc on your body. We need carbohydrates to fuel our bodies. We need protein to rebuild our bodies. Protein is what makes us heal when we're injured. Protein can also be a source of glucose in our body. Our body can use fat for energy, but really, you know, we shouldn't be eating that much fat. You need complex carbohydrates. So, you know, part of your metabolism, you know, is, you know, how your body digests these foods and gets it from your stomach digested into your small intestine, where from the small intestine, the carbohydrates, the proteins, and the fats spread out throughout your body. You know, if you're eating more than what you need, the bottom line is you're going to have a weight problem. So it's not your metabolism. Hey, if you have hypothyroidism, if your doctor's told you you have that and you're on thyroid medication, if you have Cushing's, there's a few other things. Uh, if you have been on any kind of a steroid, and I'm not talking about, you know, steroids for lifting weights. I'm talking about, you know, like prednisone. I've recently been on a lot of prednisone for a back injury that I've had. You know, some of these things, they're going to make you retain a lot of water, and they might make you retain a little bit of fat. But once again, that's got to do with your appetite. You're eating more calories than what you need. And, you know, you really just, you got to take a look at what you're feeding yourself. You know, you got to not make excuses for why you can't lose weight. Really, that's, I don't know how much we can emphasize that. It's not your metabolism, it's your appetite. Now, we can talk about your appetite being a problem. It is. When you eat too many carbohydrates, simple carbohydrates are really bad. Complex aren't so bad because you have a fiber component to complex carbohydrates that keeps them from just dumping into your bloodstream. That's regulated, which will give you more energy over a longer period of time as opposed to simple carbohydrates. Simple carbohydrates dump into your blood. There's no fiber component to slow them down. So what happens is our bodies actually become addicted to simple carbohydrates. It's the same thing as alcoholism and drug addiction, really. Uh, Eating sugar lights up the same pleasure centers in our brain as alcohol and cocaine does. You know, so, and some of us are just more susceptible to this than others. Some people can drink one beer and stop, and some people can drink one beer and, they're off on a bender. I've said this many times, just over and over and over. And what do you do when you have an addiction problem? You can't keep feeding your addiction and think that you're going to be okay. If you have an addiction problem to these foods, that little piece of cake here and there it's going to derail you. If you come home from the grocery store and you pop a gallon of ice cream in your refrigerator, you're going to derail yourself, because odds are, if you have a carbohydrate addiction, and we can throw stress on top of this too. If you're a stress eater and you're addicted to carbohydrates, you're going to eat more calories than you need. That's not your metabolism. It's not. So think about this. If you want to lose weight, you need to clean up your diet. You need to eat whole, healthy foods. You need to knock out foods with added sugars. You need to knock out processed foods. You need to knock out foods that have unhealthy fats and too much sodium and a lot of preservatives and stuff. These different things that you need to knock out are damaging to your body. They also cause inflammation in your body, and they're precursor to a lot of preventable illnesses. That's a fact. You can't even argue that scientifically. It's a fact. So it's not your metabolism, it's what you eat and how much you eat. So if you want to get serious about it, you can follow us. We're free to everybody. We give a lot of good information on how to lose weight. We've got over 1,200 articles on our website that you can read for all kinds of information. We'll never charge you for anything. We give you everything you need to know about healthy weight loss. We tell you about nutrition. We tell you about how poor nutrition affects your body. We get into exercise. We do product reviews. We give you healthy recipes. It's all for free. You can follow us. We can help you to lose weight. Brenda Sue and I will answer questions and comments, anything you have. If you want to ask us on the website, if you want private contact through the email, it's all fine. We will answer everybody, and we never charge anybody for this, as opposed to some of these corporate interests out there that just want to string you along as a perpetual income stream. I don't need you for that. I don't. That's why I don't charge. Your health is more important to me than you being a perpetual income stream to me. So, like I say, it's time to quit blaming your metabolism. Let's get serious about, what it's going to take to help you to lose weight, and to do it in a healthy manner. And if you want any help, if you need advice, if you need a sounding board, just whatever, you can always contact us through the website. We will answer you. That's my promise. We will answer you. So, anyhow, it's a beautiful day again. I'm going to stop it here. Until next time, God bless y'all.